What could you be eating, possibly even on a daily basis, that's negatively impacting your health, that's hiding in plain sight right in your own kitchen and pantry? If you want to find out, then stick around because I'm going to talk about that right now. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, My Extraordinary Ordinary. My name is Danielle, and in today's Wellness Wednesday video, I'm going to be talking about the number one thing that you might be eating that's negatively impacting your health, that's hiding in plain sight right in your own kitchen and pantry. These products are damaging to our bodies, and continued consumption of these products can lead to a lot of really serious health conditions and can leave us feeling absolutely awful. So I'm not going to hold you in suspense any longer. The number one thing that you could be consuming that is absolutely wrecking your health is seed oils. Now, I realize that some of you may already know this information, and I don't want this video to be looked at as a comprehensive guide to everything you need to know about seed oils, but I really am making this video for the layperson to better understand what seed oils are, how they impact our body, and how you can protect yourself and be more aware when you're shopping and eating the foods that you're eating. And I also encourage you to do your own research and your own due diligence and really pay more attention to your lifestyle. So that's really why I'm making this video. So please know that as we go forward in this video. And if I miss a piece of information that you consider important regarding seed oils, please leave that information for us in the comments so that we can all read and learn and benefit from continued chat after you watch this video. But with that said, let's talk about what seed oils are. So seed oils are vegetable oils that are specifically derived from the seeds of plants. Now, a lot of you know that seed oils are bad, but when you hear that description, it might sound like they should be good for you because a lot of plants, a lot of vegetables we eat are good for us. But the reason why seed oils aren't good for us is that many seed oils are high in polyunsaturated fats. And this is a type of fat that has 2 or more double bonds in its fatty acid carbon chain. Now, this is important because the more double bonds a fatty acid has, the more molecularly unstable it becomes. This makes the oils prone to oxidation, which can lead to rancidity, and we definitely don't want to be consuming rancid oils. So you can commonly find these seed oils listed online, often referred to as the Hateful Eight list of seed oils, and I'll put them on the screen for you now so you can see what they are. But these are oils that contain a particularly high level of an omega-6 fatty acid called linoleic acid. So as you see these oils listed on the screen, you may recognize a lot of these oils as oils that you've used in the past, oils that you might have cooked with, oils that you recognize from being on ingredient lists of foods that you might consume or foods that you might buy. In our diets, if we had a 1-to-1 ratio of omega-3s and omega-6s, that would be fantastic and that would be considered really healthy, but we don't have that anymore. In our Western modern diets right now, we're consuming up to 20 times more omega-6 fatty acids than we are consuming omega-3s. We would have to eat salmon and other foods really rich and really high in omega-3s at every single meal in very large quantities every single day to counteract the amount of omega-6s that we're currently getting in our diets. Now, this is bad because research links diets that are high in omega-6s, particularly linoleic acid, to conditions and diseases like chronic inflammation, cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, even other forms of neurological and psychiatric conditions can be affected by this as well. Another reason seed oils are so bad for us is because of the way that seed oils are processed. Seed oils are chemically processed utilizing extremely high temperatures, commercial deodorants, and petroleum-based solvents to extract the oils from the seed, leaving us with an oil that actually has trans fat in it that's been stripped of any nutrients or antioxidants that we would get from the naturally occurring oil in the seed. These synthetic chemicals like TBHQ, BHT, and BHA have been banned by Japan, Europe, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, but they're still being used in our oils here in the United States, but yet they're known carcinogens. Are you starting to see why this is such an important thing to be looking at in your diet? Because we're literally ingesting chemicals that are known carcinogens that other countries and other areas of the world have banned from their food products, but here we are eating them oftentimes without even realizing that we're doing it, and it happens on a regular or semi-regular basis, and we really need to be careful and we need to be aware of that. Another reason why seed oils are so damaging is because they cause oxidative stress within the body. Because of the unstable nature of seed oils and because of how prone to rancidity seed oils can be, a lot of them are considered toxic. When you consume large quantities of seed oils within your diet, what happens is that it creates an imbalance between the antioxidants in your body and the free radicals in your body. Free radicals are molecules within your body that are missing an electron, and what happens is they go around your body searching for that missing electron, and in turn they create more free radicals, which in turn can create a really damaging effect within the body. Think about a car that has a small rust spot. If you leave that rust spot alone and you don't do anything to it, as that car is more exposed to the air and the elements, especially if you live in an area like the Midwest where I live, where we have a lot of seasons and a lot of really changing harsh weather, over time that rust spot will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it may eventually cause more problems to the car than just cosmetic damage, as some parts of the car that are supposed to be protected by the outer shell of the car no longer are protected because the rust is literally eaten away at part of the body of the car. The same thing can be said for free radicals in our body. They just scavenge around looking for that extra electron within our body, and while they're doing this, they create more free radicals and more damage, and over time, high concentration of free radicals within the body causes cellular damage, which leads to a lot of debilitating diseases like Parkinson's disease, cataracts, Alzheimer's, cancer, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, and arthritis, just to name a few. Here's the really scary thing to me about consuming seed oils. Seed oils have actually been scientifically proven to change the molecular composition of our cells, which means that our bodies and our cells are more prone to oxidation and rancidity than ever before, which, like I said, is linked to many chronic diseases and conditions that we really want to avoid in order to feel our best and stay as healthy as possible for as long as we can. So now that you have all this information on the damaging effects of seed oils, what should you be doing? The first thing I recommend is go through your pantry and your kitchen and get rid of any seed oils that you're using to cook with or that you're eating. Just get rid of them, just throw them out. Normally, I wouldn't recommend that you go through your kitchen and your pantry and throw things away because I am very budget conscious. But in this case, because the effects of seed oils are so dangerous and so damaging for our short-term and long-term health, I recommend just purging your kitchen and your pantry and just getting rid of any seed oils that you're currently using or eating at home. Now, I wish it was this simple and easy, because if it was, we'd all be in fantastic shape, but unfortunately, it's not. Unfortunately, seed oils, like I said before, permeate so many of the foods we eat, and here is the shocking thing. They permeate and they are in a lot of foods we eat that we consider healthy, and this is what is so shocking. So I'm going to place some images on the screen right now of popular foods that a lot of people eat, and some of these foods are foods we're even buying thinking that we're healthy, but as you'll be able to see when you read and look at these labels, all of these foods contain seed oils in some form or another. Some of these foods even contain multiple varieties of seed oils. Now, this product I have to comment on. I'm so shocked and upset by this. I've been eating this popcorn for months now, assuming it was healthy. I didn't bother to check the label, even though I knew better. When I'm at home, I always make popcorn on the stove in avocado oil in a little pot, and that's perfectly fine and healthy. But this popcorn was handy. It was great for in the car or on the go. And it wasn't until after I filmed this video that I thought I better just check, and lo and behold, as you can see, it's cooked in seed oil, so it's not perfectly fine. I will be making popcorn at home and bringing it with me from now on so that I can control what oil it's cooked in, and I know exactly what popcorn I'm using. I usually use an organic type of popcorn. So that just goes to show how important it is to look at your labels and read them carefully and not take a manufacturer's word for it that a product is healthy. Let me tell you, don't believe that the food industry has your best interest at heart. The food industry is not interested in helping you become more healthy. They are interested in helping you buy their products and furthermore get addicted to the products that they have to offer. Do you realize that a lot of foods you eat may not really taste good, but they're actually filled with highly addictive chemicals that trick your brain into thinking that you want that particular food more and more because of the specific chemical it contains, which lights up the dopamine dopamine centers in our brain, but without the specific chemicals, these snack foods or other foods that we're eating that we think taste so good may not even really taste good to us. The food industry is a billion-dollar industry that's interested in making money, helping enable you to become more addicted to the foods they're producing. They're not interested in helping you become a healthier version of yourself. You have to be proactive in this process. You have to be aware. I really recommend that you become a master label reader. You really need to start looking at labels when you read them. You can even see in some of these products that I've shown you that they are nutritional bars. They are health food bars. These are foods that we're buying, that we're feeding our families, that we're feeding our kids, thinking we're doing the right thing, but you can see that these all contain seed oils. When we look at the ingredients list for this pasta sauce, we see that it does contain a seed oil in the form of soybean oil. However, we also notice on the label that it's expeller pressed soybean oil. Whenever you can find any oils that are either cold pressed or expeller pressed, it means that they're not heated to extremely high temperatures, and they could retain some of their nutritional value, some of their antioxidants and nutrients. So that is a better way of buying anything containing oils if you can find things that are either cold pressed or expeller pressed. However, keep in mind that any products that are either cold pressed or expeller pressed, when it comes to oils used in the product, will typically be a much higher price point. Now, all of these items that I've shown you probably have a healthier alternative. You could probably find something very similar at a health food store that doesn't contain these bad oils, but my motto is, when in doubt, go without. Just don't have it. Nowadays, when you look at a label, if you're not sure about something, you can Google it and you can find out relatively quick whether it's an ingredient that's good for you or whether it will be harmful for you. But if you don't want to take the time to do that, just don't eat it. The truth is that the less prepackaged foods you eat, the better off you are. Also, keep in mind that all of these really horrible seed oils are absolutely 100% present in extremely high quantities in the fast food that you might be eating. So really steer clear of fast food. Don't eat it because it's all fried and cooked in these really bad seed oils, and we really don't want it. And on top of that, who knows how often they change those oil vats. It's probably not as often as they should sometimes, and that just really grosses me out. So I would just totally steer clear of fast food, if for no other reason than just that you would be getting massive quantities of these really dangerous and really bad for you seed oils. So don't forget that it's going to be in our convenience foods that we're eating, in our fast foods. A lot of people mistakenly think that they can't afford to eat healthy. They think, I'm on a budget, I can't afford to eat healthy, but that's not the case. The most expensive thing that most of us have on our grocery list is prepackaged foods. They are expensive for a reason, because we're paying for the convenience. If you're willing to do a lot of the legwork and a lot of the prep work at home on your own with food in its most natural state, it's going to be the least expensive version of that food, and it's also going to be the healthiest version of that food. So now that we've talked about what seed oils are and why they're so bad for you, you might be wondering, what kinds of oils or fats can I be using when I'm cooking, when I'm eating things at home? I'm going to keep this really simple and just share with you what we use in our home. There are other things you could be using or other things that would be good for you, but I'm just going to share what we do in our home. We primarily use avocado oil, olive oil, MCT oil, and butter, and I'll tell you the different ways that I use these products. I eat eggs almost every morning. I love eggs. I love their protein profile. I love the way they make me feel. I love how relatively inexpensive they are in comparison to some other proteins you could eat. I love how quick and easy they are to prepare, and so that is my morning breakfast go-to on most mornings. And the way that I typically prepare my eggs, because a lot of times I don't have a lot of time, I have a small frying pan, and I will just take a little bit of butter, pop it in the pan, melt it down, and then I will add my eggs, and I will just simply fry a couple eggs in butter. And that's typically what I use, and that's typically how I prepare my eggs, especially if I'm in a hurry in the morning. Now, I use MCT oil primarily in my coffee, and I use it as a salad dressing, and I use it when I eat avocado. I always drizzle my avocado with MCT oil and a little bit of sea salt. I eat an avocado almost every day. I love avocados. They're very good for you. Healthy fats are very important for a healthy diet, and I try to get a good profile of healthy fat in my diet, and MCT oil is one of the ways that I like to do that. I do not cook with MCT oil. You probably could cook with it, I guess, if you wanted to, but on very, very low heat, but it wouldn't be something that I'd recommend. But I primarily use it as a salad dressing, as an oil that I drizzle all over everything, and I put it in my morning coffee sometimes because it really does help satiate me. Again, it's a good healthy fat that I like to incorporate into my diet, so that's another way that I use MCT oil. Avocado oil is probably the oil that I utilize the most because it's suitable to be used during very high cooking temperatures. So you can use avocado oil up to 500 degrees, which is one of the ways that I really like to use it. When I am cooking or baking something at a higher temperature, avocado oil typically is my go-to. I really like to use it for that. Olive oil is something that you can use again as a salad dressing. It's a great heart healthy oil with good healthy fats that you can drizzle over your vegetables. You can use it on foods. You can just eat it without cooking it, and it's great that way. It's not great as a cooking oil if you're cooking at higher temperatures, because one thing that some people may not know is that olive oil will go rancid at a higher temperature. You can cook with olive oil at low to moderate temperatures, but just not at a high heat, and that's where avocado oil comes in, because you can cook with avocado oil at higher temperatures and it doesn't change the profile of the oil. It doesn't make the oil go rancid. So primarily those are the oils and the fats that we use in our home when we're cooking, when we're eating things, and I shared with you the ways that we use them, and it's been working well for our family. Ghee is another product that you could use that is considered a healthy fat that a lot of people really like to incorporate in their diet. It's not something that I've personally used. It is something that I am interested in trying, and I plan to try to incorporate it into my diet, but I haven't as of yet, so I won't spend a lot of time talking about that. Some other sources and some other people that I've heard have also mentioned tallow and lard. Those are things that I haven't had any experience in using, so I won't spend a lot of time talking about that. But like I said, really do your own due diligence and figure out what you like best, figure out what works for you. I don't find that the flavor of avocado or olive oil bothers me at all in baking or cooking. I don't really seem to notice it, and I have a banana bread recipe that is from my grandma, and her banana bread was family famous. Everybody loved it, and in her original recipe it calls for vegetable oil. It calls for like 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil, and I subbed out avocado oil, and I really didn't notice a difference in taste, but that's just me. I love avocados and I love avocado oil. You could also try baking recipes that call for oil with olive oil. Typically, like I said, avocado oil is my go-to because you can bake with it and cook with it at higher temperatures, so that's typically just what I use. Kind of experiment and see what works for you and what you like best, and then just go from there. Just remember that when you buy your oils, you want to make sure they come in a dark colored container, and it's best to store them in a cool, dark, and dry place. So you want to pick a place in your pantry or your kitchen that's cool and dark to keep them from oxidizing and going rancid. I used to say, kind of jokingly and kind of half serious, if it doesn't grow from the ground, don't eat it. Now I realize that's not realistic all the time, but in large part, as much as you can, I do think that's a philosophy that if we adopted that more, we would just naturally be more healthy, because we have to remember, unfortunately too, that even our natural foods, unless they're 100% certified organic, a lot of our fruits and vegetables are sprayed with pesticides, so we have to keep that in mind too. It's a good idea to always be as informed as we can and do the best that we can personally for ourselves and our families to eat as healthy as we possibly can, because I personally, for one, want you to live as long as you can, but also enjoy the quality of life that you have. We can't forget how important quality of life is, because I always say if you don't take time now to focus on your health, you'll be forced to take time later to focus on your illness. So which would you rather have? Time now that you spend as you please focusing on your health, or force time later when you don't feel good to focus on the illness that you have because you didn't spend the time to focus on your health. So keep that in mind as you do your own due diligence, as you research these oils, as you look at what you're consuming in your homes, as you look at what you're buying in the grocery store, and always remember that you can make an informed, really good choice for yourself and your family. So I hope this video encouraged you and motivated you to take a closer look at what's in your pantry, what's on your kitchen counter, take a closer look at the foods that you're eating on a regular basis, and really become aware as you start to read labels more closely. You will not only feel so much better when you cut the majority of seed oils out of your diet, but you will look better as well. One of the main things that I noticed in some of my older videos, that my face looks fuller, and it is not really weight, but it is inflammation because of all of the chemicals and all of the seed oils and all of the sugar I was eating. When you cut seed oils out of your diet, you will notice a really big difference in your inflammation. If you are an arthritic person, you will definitely notice it in your joints. You will feel so much better, and don't we all deserve to look and feel our very best? If you love content that motivates and inspires you to be the best version of yourself you can be every single day, then you'll definitely want to subscribe to my channel. I post a new video every day. I either post a YouTube short Bible verse where you can get your daily dose of the Bible every day in a minute or less, or I post a video that talks about health and wellness, a devotional where I talk about a topic surrounding my faith in God, or I talk about a motivational topic that will help and inspire you in practical ways. Next week in my motivational video, I'll be talking about how to recover from and avoid burnout. So definitely, if you're a type A person like I am, you'll want to subscribe so you don't miss that video. Thank you so much for investing some of your time with me today. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and remember to make your everyday ordinary life extraordinary. If you're a person who eats too much sugar, or you know someone that does, then you definitely want to watch this video next.